Hello and welcome. A few days back, the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister has released a working paper called Fixing the GST Process 5 Years of Iterative Problem Solving. Bit scary, I know. But this paper extensively discusses about the improvement in the performance of GST network, GSTN. So in today's video, we are going to decode this working paper and understand certain key things related to the performance of GSTN in simple words. In the first part of the video, we are going to talk about the performance of GSTN. Here, the analysis is not just limited to the tax collection. Of course, tax collection is an important benchmark to assess the performance of any tax system. But this paper also discusses about the process efficiency and the ability of the system to correct. So to understand this, we are going to analyze certain parameters like number of users versus number of help desk staff, number of complaints as a proportion of GST returns filed, on-time filing compliance, that is proportion of taxpayers filing GST returns within the due date, then time taken by GSTN to resolve taxpayers' issues, that is after you call the help desk, how fast are your queries resolved, and so on. In the second part, we are going to talk about the technology, that is how the use of technology can help further boost performance of GSTN. As of now, the GST system uses a chatbot called GST Interactive Technical Assistant. And as per this paper, the use of this chatbot has helped improve performance to some extent. This paper also talks about the use of advanced technology, that is ChatGPT-like AI chatbots. If integrated with GST system, how can it further augment performance of GSTN? Here is the data for last 11 years. Starting from financial year 2012-13 to financial year 2022-23. Before introduction of GST, that is during financial year 2016-17, indirect tax collection was about 3.91 trillion, and in financial year 2022-23, this has increased to about 18.06 trillion, that is an increase of about 4.6 times. If you observe the chart here, it shows an increasing trend in the collection of indirect tax except for financial year 2020-21, and this dip is because of the pandemic. Let us now talk about the number of users. In July 2017, when GST was introduced, there were about 38.51 lakh users, and as of today this number has increased to about 137 lakh. That is from about 4 million to about 14 million, which is a 3.6 time increase. Let's now compare this with the number of help desk staff. In August 2017, there were 550 help desk agents, and this has gradually reduced, and since Feb 2019 onwards, this number has remained constant at 200. If you observe here, the number of users have increased, but the number of help desk agents have reduced. For instance, in August 2017, there is one help desk staff for every 12,000 users, and as of today, this number has gone down further. Now, one staff for every 68,500 users. As discussed in the paper, the reason for this reduction is because of the use of technology. That is, as we have earlier seen, GST system uses chatbot, GST Interactive Technical Assistant on the GST Help Desk portal. This chatbot is to provide automated responses for frequent and simple queries, because of which number of calls or queries to the help desk has also reduced. As reported in the paper, initially number of calls or queries to the help desk per quarter was about 20 lakh, which has now considerably reduced to less than 2 lakh per quarter. And another reason which I can think of is, now that it is about 6 years since implementation of GST, most of the processes are streamlined and also taxpayer awareness has also gone up. So this also could be another factor. Let's now talk about the number of complaints, that is, number of complaints as a proportion of GST returns. Here is the chart showing number of complaints as a proportion of GST returns filed. I couldn't find any better resolution image. Now, if you observe here, in 2017 quarter 3, this proportion was 0.83%, and in 2022 fourth quarter, this has reduced to 0.04%. This essentially means that in 2017, for every 10,000 GST returns filed, 83 complaints were reported, and in 2022, this number has come down to 4 for every 10,000 GST returns filed, and this is quite impressive. Next, on-time filing of GST returns. That is, proportion of taxpayers filing GSTR 3B within the due date. In 2017, quarter 3, this was 47%, that is 47% or less than half of taxpayers filed GSTR 3B within the due date. If we compare this with pre-pandemic level, it was 66%. After that, there are dips because of the pandemic, and as of now, this is at 76%. This means 76% of taxpayers file GSTR 3B within the due date. It also means that the remaining 24% don't file GSTR 3B within the due date. Now, if we compare this with the global benchmark, as per OECD report 2021, the global benchmark for developed economies is about 86%. Now, considering that India is still a developing economy, we are yet to reach this level. Last parameter, time taken to resolve taxpayers' issues. It typically takes about 22 to 24 hours to resolve taxpayers' issues. Sometimes this can take more time, that is, there could be spikes because of rollout of new feature or functionality, technical glitches on the portal, experience and attrition rate of help desk staff, that is, if there are inexperienced staff or if the attrition rate is high, then that also is going to lead to these spikes. But if the issue is a complex one, then resolution can take anywhere between 3 and 5 days, especially if code has to be rewritten because of software bugs and so on. It could take more time. Interestingly, this paper also reports about software bugs. In 2022 alone, there were 500 software bugs. Now, if we compare this with the past data, this number has come down. As per the report, this number seems high and it must be brought down. Let's now summarize what we have understood so far. First, there is an increasing trend in GST collection, that is, it has gone up by 4.6 times as compared to pre-GST regime. Second, number of users have increased, but there is reduction, about 2/3 reduction in the number of help desk staff, and this is because of use of chatbot. 3. Number of complaints as a proportion of GST returns filed. It has decreased from 0.83% to 0.04%. 4. Timely compliance behavior of taxpayers. That is, 76% of taxpayers file GSTR 3B within the due date, and the global benchmark for developed economies is about 86%. Fifth, time taken to resolve taxpayer issues. It normally takes about 1 day, but if the issue is a complex one, then it can take anywhere between 3 and 5 days. Now let's move to the second part. As we have discussed earlier, GST system uses chatbot GST Interactive Technical Assistant. Now the accuracy of this chatbot is about 92%. So this means it is difficult for the chatbot to deal with remaining 8% queries. Now this paper also discusses about use of advanced technology. For instance, integration of ChatGPT-like AI chatbot with GST system can help improve accuracy further. For this, some testing has also been done to check the capability of ChatGPT. Basically, some queries were put forth and responses were analyzed. As of now, this may not mean much to us because the response is more of generic in nature, but over a period of time, things can get better. This is the summary of the working paper, and now the last part. Most of us would have used ChatGPT, and we know now the technology has taken us to a different level. We can use ChatGPT to summarize a lengthy document. We can get information, prepare notes. For instance, you want to prepare yourself for an assessment and you want information to substantiate your argument, then ChatGPT is helpful to you. Of course, you need to check authenticity of this information. That is a different matter. So as of now, we are in this state with the use of current technology. But what about future? Say after 1 or 2 years, or say after 5 or 10 years down the line, what can we expect from the use of advanced technology? Now, it's difficult to predict future, but considering the current trend, I can think of 2-3 possibilities. First, preparation of GST returns might become completely automatic. All you need to do is to check and submit it. Or let's say you want to file some application, say a refund application. Now the preparation might become automatic. You need to just check and submit it. We see that some of these things are already happening. For instance, if you are filing your GSTR 3B, you can download system computed GSTR 3B. Now this would autofill your output tax liability on the basis of your GSTR 1 and your input tax credit on the basis of GSTR 1 of your suppliers. But if there is any reversal of ITC that you need to do, say for example you have some ineligible ITC, then such reversals you have to do it manually as of now. So in future we can expect to automate such intricate things too. Second, automated assessments. As of now we have faceless assessments. But in future, it is possible that the intervention of officers might be reduced to a great extent and computers can take over. All you need to do is to have documentation to substantiate your claim, and rest of the things computers might take over. 3. Customized response. For instance, as of now, if you ask any query to ChatGPT, the response that you get would be generic in nature. So in future, we can expect to have customized response, say taxpayer specific or situation specific and so on. Of course, there is data privacy issue here which also needs to be considered before we use technology for these applications. With this, let's wrap up. Hope the video was informative. Thank you for watching.